Happy New Year, Brock. Y'all, how's it going? Um, okay, Brock, in the non-conference, if you could point at one thing that you really kind of learned about the team that you didn't know, prior to the season starting, what would that be? And also, what's kind of one area you're thinking, all right, we need to tighten this up with conference play here?
The one thing I noticed through non-conference is that we have the ability to be a really good team. You start the season, you think you're going to be good, and whenever you get into actual games, you figure out what your ceiling can be. And I think we can take this as far as we want. Something that we need to work on. Defense is always a big piece with Coach Terry. Our offensive fluidity. I mean, at this point in the season, you're trying to get better at everything because if you're at your peak at the beginning of January, you're not going to play late into March. So we're working on every aspect of our game.
Okay.
Josh Criswell, go ahead, please, sir.
Hey, Brock, just as one of the guys that was there for last year's run to the NCAA tournament, kind of had a lot of changes during the offseason. Do you like kind of, where you see the team and kind of the direction you guys are progressing as you guys head into Big 12 play?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of harped on it in the last question. I have a lot of faith about where this team can go. We've got all the right tools. We've got the right guys in the locker room, right coaches. I mean, it really is just where we want to take this team and how much we're willing to work for it.
Josh, any follow-up, sir?
Yeah, kind of going off of that, obviously brought back Rodney Terry as the head coach. How much do you think that's kind of helped you guys maybe keep that positive momentum and continuity even with some of the offseason changes?
It's been great. Coach Terry's the right man for the job. Unbelievable recruiter. He really cares about his players. It's just been great having him this year. It's my third head coach, and I've learned a lot from him, and just really enjoy playing for him.
Roger Wallace, go ahead, please, sir.
Brock, you've been around this league a long time. The margin for error is slim, top to bottom. Your thoughts on one last go around in the Big 12 and starting off against obviously a team that they evoke a lot of emotions about Texas, and that kind of translates the other way around too.
Yeah, Big 12, best conference in the country, only made better by the additions this year, starting off with Texas Tech. It's going to be a fun way to start the new year. They've got a very capable team. They've won some big games, got some good players. But as you said, the Big 12 is deep and there's no margin for error, so I'm excited for it.
Thomas Jones, go ahead again, sir.
Brock, with Dylan Dessou back in full swing, how has your role changed at all since your front court is fully healthy now? And also, Texas Tech. I mean, what does that rivalry mean to you in particular? You've gone through some battles with those guys.
Mm-hmm. Dylan Dessou, unbelievable player. We're still working it out. I think this is fifth game back or so, and it takes a little bit of time to really understand the rotations, and we're working through it. But we did it last year. I'm excited for it. We're better with him out there. And then Texas Tech. Yep. I enjoy playing against Texas Tech. I've had moments against their program dating all the way back to 2019. Love competing against them. They've got some of the best fans in the country, and just it's a lot of fun. One of the best competitions in college basketball, in my opinion.
Bob Ballou, please.
Hey, Brock. Tyrese and Dylan Mitchell, where do you think they've kind of taken the next step? We've talked so much about the newcomers and kind of fitting them in, but Tyrese and Dylan seem to have taken their game to another level this year.
Yeah, night and day difference for the both of them. Started with Dylan Mitchell. He's playing with a better motor, and with his athleticism, that opens up a lot of his game, from the rebounding to running the rim, playing defense. He's really expanded his game in every single way. And then Tyrese has, evolved even with the addition of Max Abmas as a point guard, being able to push the ball and really getting back to who he is as one of the best on-ball defenders in the country.
Is that something that maybe took him a little bit of time just to, and I know there's still more season to go to get you to, acclimated to it, but just getting to play with Max and the role that each of them would have on this team?
Yeah, when you bring in, a dynamic player like Max Abmas, there's going to be a phase where you've got to work through it, learn each other's tendencies, and that's what non-conference is for, preseason. But I feel good about where their balance is going and where we're going to be with those guys leading.
Jeff Jones, go ahead, please, sir.
to kind of follow up on that, with Max in particular, you said there's going to be a getting to know you kind of period on the court. Do you remember a moment in non-conference play where you were like, okay, I know Max well now because I knew he was going to do this, or a moment where it clicked that you knew Max had gelled with the rest of the group?
One game that jumps out to me, and there's a bunch of moments, but would be the LSU game. I was able to find Max in a bunch of different cuts. He played well. He's just a intelligent player, almost Curry-like with how he moves and how he's able to shoot the ball. So we've just been able to find a good rhythm and a two-man game whenever me and him are involved.
Jeff, any follow-up on that, sir?
Nope. Almost Curry-like. Love that.
Mike Hards, looks like you're driving hands on the wheel, please. Go ahead.
Hands stay on the wheel, Scott. Hands stay on the wheel. Hey, quick question, Brock. Good to see you, buddy. I wanted to follow up on the part about 3 different coaches. You know, it's a unique situation for you to be able to play for 3 different coaches at the same university, by the way. Tell us about each one of them and what makes them all unique.
Yeah, three coaches at one school is borderline unheard of. But I've got a ton of respect for all 3. I'll give you kind of the main thing I learned from each one. Shaka, unbelievable learner. Unbelievable teacher for young people, freshmen coming in. I learned from him variety is the spice of life. You got to mix it up on and off the court, whether that's your game, expanding it, or trying new things. Going on to Beard, you are what you set your standard to. So he always talked about school. If you want to get A pluses, that'll be your standard to get them. Or if you're cool with B's, and he expanded that to your game, to everything outside of life. And then with Coach Terry, optics are everything. That first impression is hard to get away from a bad first impression. So meeting people, knowing their names, all of that, being a personable individual helps you both in basketball and off the court. And a ton of other stuff that I've learned from all 3, but one big piece for each one of them.
All right, Happy New Year, Coach. What's something you've learned from the guys in this first 2 months of the season that maybe is a surprise that you didn't really realize in coming up into the season?
You know what? I don't know about surprises. I think guys have worked really hard to put themselves in really good positions. I think Dylan Mitchell doing what he's done to the start of this season right now. We spent a lot of time with him this summer with he and Brock, and being down 2 big guys. He had to play more of the 4 this summer, a lot of the summer workouts. But as we got into the start of the year, he's been able to play the 3 for us and do some of the things that we kind of envisioned him when he was coming back here for this season. Like Timmy Allen played for us a year ago, some 3, some 4. But he's played a lot of 3, and he's done a great job defensively. I think this team, again, they've been practicing really, really hard over the last 4 months, and we've gotten so much better from day one this fall defensively. And we still have room to grow, but we're getting better, and we're taking more onus and really just defending hard and trying to get stops and understand how important defense is.
Any follow-up, Thomas?
Actually, about one question about the non-conference schedule. Really tough road trips. You had to go to New York with UConn, Marquette. You met a good LSU team in Houston. Did you learn that, maybe we didn't get a marquee team in Moody in non-conference? How's that going to impact next season's scheduling?
Well, I think, again, scheduling is one of those things that's one of the tedious things that you have to do. You just have to spend a lot of time in trying to find the right type of matchups and what really works for other opponents. But I think what you really try to do is you try to put together styles of play that are going to prepare you for conference play. I always say you play the non-conference schedule to get to conference play. And, obviously we would love to be able to start a really good home series, and we will find a really good home series at Texas because we can and everything as well. But we also love playing neutral and playing big boy games on the road and great venues that help prepare us for being ready to play. The UConn game playing in New York, it's like playing Kansas and Kansas City, so you can't put a price tag on those type of non-conference games. But now at Texas, we're gonna have a marquee game or two at home always. This year we weren't able to have one of those, but moving forward, we'll always have a great home and home series with the Power Five.
Cliff Thornton, go ahead, please, sir.
Hey, Rodney, athletic department wide, this so-called embrace the hate last year, the Big 12 tour has gone really well, for football, volleyball, and others. How much do you think this that motivates your guys in terms of making sure that that last time through this conference that you guys get the last laugh over the Texas Techs, the TCUs, the Baylors, the Kansases of the world?
Well, again, I think obviously our fall sports have had a tremendous run. Volleyball winning a national championship, football, playing for a national championship as well. Soccer, winning the Big 12 championship as well. I think again the thing that we've tried to do, I know as a program ourselves, we've tried to live where our feet are. You know what I mean? We're excited about competing in this Big 12 race. We feel like it's the best conference in college basketball. And we're excited about the challenges. Every night you're gonna have to bring your A game, and great coaches, you have great players, and really good venues. But I think for us, we've tried to not get too high, not get too low. The next game is the big game for us, and we know we're gonna always get everybody's best game anyway. We're Texas.
Roger Wallace, go ahead, please, sir.
RT, there's nothing like the grind of a Big 12, and you got a lot of guys coming in with a lot of games under their belt, but maybe not going through the conference schedule like this one. Is that even an issue? Is that something you or your guys articulate to guys about what they're about to get into?
Oh, we control what we can control, Roger, to be honest. I mean, we control how hard we practice every day, our practice habits or our game habits. And, you work every possession. And I think one thing I think our guys have gotten better with over the course of the last month of the season is learning to work the game, work the game for 40 minutes. But what does that really mean, in terms of working the game? We've got to execute on offense. We've got to sit down and under know the scout report on defense, and then be able to finish possessions. If we didn't have a great possession down the last time down, we got to earn a basket this time down, in terms of value and taking care of the basketball and getting a shot on our terms, putting consecutive stops together. So, that's what you have to do in the Big 12. You got to be able to sit down, play with a physical mindset, have a defensive mindset, and really try to outcompete the other team that you're playing against for 40 minutes, whether you're at home or on the road.
And then is this Tech team look different on the floor than a Chris Beard, Mark Adams Tech scheme?
Well, I mean, they're a well-coached team. I mean, Greg McCasland has been doing this for a minute, and he's had a lot of success doing it. He won at the JUCO level national championship. He won an NIT at North Texas, and won the league over there several years as well. So he does an incredible job with his guys, gets his guys to play really hard, play together, and he's got them playing really well right now.
Jeff Jones, please.
Hey, Coach, did you have a specific number one goal that you wanted to accomplish or to see before conference play started? And if so, how would you evaluate that?
Well, I think the one thing we tried to really work hard in this first part of the season and our journey was to really try to get guys to play hard, and consistently playing hard. We showed flashes early in the season, but to be consistent throughout the course of the game. It doesn't have to be perfect, but really get our guys and playing extremely hard, and not worrying about making mistakes. Just go out and play as hard as you can play. And I think again, when you talk about coaching is getting your guys to compete at a high level, over the course of a game. And so that's what we really try to work hard at. We'll work hard on the details and getting better with our execution. But the one thing is you got to be able to hang your hat on every night. You're not having to coach effort and guys playing really hard.
Josh Criswell, please.
Hey, Coach. Earlier this week, Kelvin Sampson compared playing in the Big 12 to playing 18 NCAA tournament games. Just throughout your experience, what would you say is the most unique challenge in this league that maybe makes it different from other big-time conferences?
Well, again, I think I've spelled that out pretty clear. I think, we've got elite level coaches in this league that do a great job preparing their teams to play at a high level. Big 12's always had great basketball talent, and then, we play in great venues. Every night, you're gonna have to come play at a very high level, whether you're at home or whether you're on the road, you're gonna play in a tough place to play. So, when you have that combination, man, it really, again, it's elite, and again, that's why our league is, I think the best league in the country.
Eric Henry, please.
Good afternoon, RT. Apologies if you were asked this before. I'm pulling double duty between football and basketball. So a little bit of breaking news got me on the call late here. But I just wanted to ask you in specificity to the transfers. Early in the year, you talked about wanting to use the non-conference play to get them up to speed. So by the time Big 12 play started, they were, kind of ready to go. Just wondering where you feel they are in that process.
You know what? I think we're coming together as a team. I really do. I think, as we got back from Christmas break, we reemphasized everybody's roles and, where everybody's at right now. And, I think our guys really, over the course of this non-conference slate have gotten a chance to really understand where each guy had the chance to be successful. I think our returners are doing exactly what we thought they would do. I thought our newcomers are blending well with our newcomers. I mean, with our returning players. I think our returning players are got a great feel for, hey, what's the best, scoring opportunities for IT. Tyrese and Max, playing together and playing off one another. Caden and now we have the Sue back in the fold now. Those guys playing together and playing through each other and understanding what we're doing. So I think we're getting to a really good place. I think we're having really good practices, and I think guys are carrying that over in the games.
Terry Middleton, please.
Coach, Happy New Year. So I'm curious, you're a veteran coach. This is not your first rodeo. I'm just curious, over the last year, how has this team, specifically this on the court today, helped you to become a better coach? Have you grown in your coaching, resume or style or whatever? How have you grown in just being around these guys?
No, Terry, I think that's a great question. I think, I had our guys watch a clip today, and they've always get a chance to hear from other successful people in our sport. But they heard LeBron James talk today about being a lifelong learner. He's played 20 plus years in the league, and he learns something new every day. And he's always receptive to learning new things. Whether it be in basketball, in life, I think you're always learning. The minute you think you've got it all figured out, or you think you made it, then you probably need to go ahead and retire and sit down on the porch and get in the rocking chair. But you're always learning, man. You're always trying to sharpen your skills with everything you do. You want to surround yourself with great people. I've got a great staff that I work with every day. And, we embrace learning. And, a lot of times we watch what other guys are doing. You watch other teams and games around the country right now. Coaching is about stealing and taking things all the time. If coaches tell you they think, hey, I've got one way of doing this and I'm not doing it any other way, then they're really not coaching. At the end of the day, man, you're always taking something, and making it your own and maybe fit your personnel and what you do. And there's no shame in your game with that, but that's coaching. That's what it's all about.
Thank you.
Bob Lou, please.
Just following up on what Eric asked first on Tyrese, how do you think he handled that transition, getting to know Max a little better? And what kind of step do you think he's taken this year?
Yeah, Bob, I think just like last year, he had to go through getting a great feel for playing with Marcus and playing with and without the ball at times. No different than with Max. Both of those guys can play off of one another really well. Those guys, I think, have gotten really close together as well. The chemistry, off the court is just as good on the court. And I think when you have that, you got two guys comfortable in their own skin. And at the end of the day, both guys are winners and they want to win. And so they've done a great job of really just playing off of one another and having each other's back. And Tyrese has taken his game here over the last couple of games to another level, mostly on the defensive end of the floor. He's really, I think anytime he's playing at an elite level defensively and engaged on that end of the floor, offense comes really easy to him. And he's done that over the last couple ball games. He was sick in the last ball game, but he's come back to practice, and he's had really good practices and picked up where he left off, trying to guard really hard.
Jeff Jones, go ahead. I think that's what Scott's trying to say. Jeff, go ahead.
I was trying to do some lip reading. I thought that's what I saw too. Yeah. Coach, do you do New Year's resolutions? What's on your list, whether it's basketball or personally, this year?
Oh, Jeff, that's a great question. You know, the one thing I said to our guys today, I think again, you know, I don't know. I told my guys today the best Christmas present I got this year was a paperback book from my aunt, and it was a 3 to 5 minute devotional every day where it really gets into scripture. It gets into how you apply the scripture, but it more importantly, it helps you get in touch with application. And you know, just simple. But for me, it gives me great food every day. I take about 5 minutes, you know, study through it. And man, today was talking about, you know, just saying thank you. Tell God in your own way, thank you for what he's done for you and what he does for you every single day. And you'll be blessed for it tenfold, you know, and put everything, you know, no need to be worrying. Put everything in his hands, and, you know, he has the master plan. He's going to take care of everything for you and stuff. So again, to me, I mean, you know, a lot of people have New Year resolutions. I just try to have great food of thought every day, and doing a devotional every day always gets me in a great mindset and head into practice. And I share that with my guys as well, because in life, you know, you're not going to get anywhere by yourself if you don't have faith in God and someone else in terms of really, trying to help you live the right way.
Jeff, any follow-up, sir?
No, thought that was perfect. Thank you.
Last one, Mike Harge, please.
Can the congregation get an amen, please? I just want to make sure we say that, RT. We want to get an amen. Testify. Hey, I just wanted to touch on two things. We got a chance to talk to Brock just a little while ago, and Brock mentioned that he's played for 3 coaches at this university. Number one, that is unique. Number two, that just goes to show how long Brock has been at the University of Texas. But that is something that he's taken away, and he's taken something from each of the coaches. One of them you were with, obviously, with Coach Beard, and now you're giving him some food for thought, as you just mentioned. And then the other part of it is you talked about Tyrese really buying in to the defensive side of the ball. What conversation? I know you wanted him to be an all-conference defensive player. I know you really challenged him. What made the switch to where he decided to really buy into what you were saying?
Well, Mike, those are great points there. I tell you, the one thing in regards to Brock, I think Brock's one of those guys. You know, he's been here for a number of years, and I think the thing that he really strives the most on, and when he really excels at a high level, is when he has great communication. You know, clearly define what you want done with him, talk through things. He's one of those guys that's a big communicator, you know, and I think when you communicate with him at a high level, then you're going to get the best out of Brock Cunningham. It's when you have communication breakdown and you don't communicate sometimes, or he doesn't have a great understanding of what we're trying to get done. That's when we will sometimes butt heads a little bit. But you love having a Brock Cunningham in your program. Anybody or any coach would love to have a Brock Cunningham every year of their coaching career on their teams, because you know what you're going to get from him every single day, whether it be practice, games. You know, so you love having him on your team as opposed to playing against him. Tyrese, I think the thing I've tried to challenge him all year with is want to be on the all defensive team. He has a skill set, and I think want to be on that all defensive team. If we want to win the Big 12 championship, you got to have 1 or 2 guys, okay, maybe even 3 guys on the all defensive team, because, you know, as much as we want to think that offense is going to win for us in this league, defense is going to win for you in this league. You have to be able to put stops together. You have to be able to finish possessions, and you have to have a physical mindset. And when he's guarding at an elite level, we're really good. I mean, he took our team to a whole nother level last year, but he's bought into that. He understands not only in his collegiate career, he's going to do it professionally as well. He's going to be a guy that, you know, picks up the floor 94 feet, sits down and guards guys and has a really big defensive mindset in terms of really kind of taking it personal. I put together some comps for him at the next level in terms of guys his size and what they have to do at the next level. They're all defensive guys. They got to sit down and guard. If you don't guard, you got no chance. So he knows that. He understands that. He's embraced that. And I do think he is a guy that could be an all Big 12 type defender.
RT, I believe you wanted to wrap with just a quick message to our fans about their importance.
Absolutely. I mean, as we embark on Big 12 play, it's the best time of the year. We play the non-conference to get to conference play. We have the best conference in the country. Every night's going to be a battle, whether you're at home or on the road. You know, we need Moody to be the toughest place to play in the league, and we can't do that without the support of Longhorn Nation. Hopefully some of our students that are back in town, we'd love to have you guys come out. You guys bring tremendous energy to the building, but your support really makes a difference for us in games. And last year was a major difference maker in Big 12 play. So we need you. We can't do it without you. And, you're going to get great basketball every night. So come out and support us, get behind us. This team's growing. We still have a ways to go. But I love what they're doing and how they're coming together. So come and support us. We need you.
Thanks, all. Everybody have a great day. Appreciate you joining us early. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.
Happy New Year, guys.